Hi, I'm Brooke.
And I'm Lily.
And together we are CEOs from IA Adventure.
We've been planning a trip for 2017, and our trip is called the Moroccan Adventure Trip. On this trip, our people will experience camel rides, desert tours, cultural cooking, markets, surfing, swimming, and sunsets. We think that you should go on our trip because it's a great place for families and friends to experience culture outside of the United States but still feel safe and comfortable.
So while we're in Morocco, we're going to be visiting many markets and medinas. The first place that we're going to be going is Jama El Fena, where it's a huge market and medina, probably the most prominent one in all throughout Morocco. And one thing I think families and their friends will be super excited about is the 4-day, 3-night desert trip. So we'll start in Marrakesh and end in Fez. And 2 of the 3 nights will be spent actually in the desert, where you can stay in traditional Berber camps or under the stars even. And when we're on that trip, you have the opportunity to watch the sunsets and sunrises on camel treks. We will also be visiting Essaouira, Morocco, and that's located on the coast of the Atlantic Ocean. So when you're in Essaouira, you can go fishing, swimming, golfing, as well as biking and socializing with the people of Morocco. So you can also take cooking classes and really learn about their culture. And there was a map on there from where we're going, but it's not there. But yeah, there was supposed to be a map.
So our total cost is $2,700, including hotels, breakfast, airfare, transportation, and tours, everything that we're doing on the trip. The only thing that we don't include is any souvenirs that you buy and lunches and dinners because we're going to be going to markets and like restaurants.
Yeah, and for that purpose, we do recommend that you bring extra money because a lot of the markets have handmade jewelry and clothing, blankets, and many souvenirs that would be very awesome to bring back from Morocco.
Our dates are March 29th through April 9th, and we chose these days because in Morocco, the rainy season is more in the winter and summer, and the spring is the ideal time because the weather is from like 70 degrees to 80 degrees in the mornings, and then at night it cools down to like 40 to 50 degrees.
So when we're on this trip, we do recommend that that the clothing that you bring is more covered and much more conservative than it is in the United States, because that's how people in Morocco have grown up, and that's to be respectful to their culture. We do recommend that you wear more conservative clothing.
We also recommend that you bring sunscreen because it does get hot. We recommend that you bring a windbreaker or some kind of warm jacket for at night when we stay in the desert tours. We recommend that you bring a bathing suit for swimming pools. A lot of hotels that we stay at have swimming pools, and we also recommend that you bring cameras because there's a lot of cool things that we'll see.
Make your Facebook friends jealous.
We have time for our video. Okay, so we have a video of some people who have been on the trip before, and they want to tell you what they think.
What was your favorite part of the trip? Oh my gosh. My favorite part of the trip was definitely the desert camping trip because we were actually able to be in the desert, and then sometimes we stayed in these little cool places, but it was definitely an awesome 2 days. What was your favorite part about the trip?
My favorite part was surfing in this wonderful city. And I like sleeping under the stars on some of the desert tours.
Why did you choose to go? Well, I just really wanted an awesome trip away with my girlfriends, so we just decided to plan this trip. There were like 5 or 6 of us, and it was really cool.
Why did you choose to go on
outside of America. We were able to experience different culture, and the experiences with my girlfriends were just super awesome.
Would you go on it again?
I would definitely recommend this, and I would definitely want to go on it again just because it's so different from your everyday like vacation and culture that you go on with your family. So, yeah.
Yeah, these are just some other reviews that people have.
Any questions?
When you say conservative clothing, are you talking about no shorts or what are you talking
Yeah, just
about?
pretty much covering up most of your skin. Like this dress, my aunt actually got it in when she was in Africa. So just more conservative clothing and just not showing off too much skin.
So like anything that goes below the knee, or like if you wear a tank top, make sure you wear a good jacket over it.
Do you have any safety concerns about traveling there?
Not the places that we're staying. We made sure that the parts of Morocco that we're staying in are tourist friendly.
What is the temperature there?
It's from, well, in the daytime, it's from like 70 to 80 degrees, and then at night, it goes from like 50 to 60s.
I noticed that in one of your slides it said that 13-year-olds were not allowed. Can you go into depth
Oh.
as to why that is?
Yeah. So we're gonna be traveling a lot. So, and the activities we think might be too difficult for kids who are under 15.
Yeah, especially with the desert trip, because we will be going on camels and we'll be staying actually in the desert. So we just think it'd be a little too challenging and too much of a jump from normal society in America.
What language do they speak?
Like Arabic or Arabic. I'm not sure how to say that.
And
But
a lot of them speak English as well.
so a lot of people go there.
You can keep answering questions
Oh,
while
okay.
she grabs them.
We brought you some food from Morocco that you might want to like taste test.
How many people would you anticipate taking on a trip like this?
Probably like 5 to 10, depending if like families are going or if it's just couples or singles.
And who's the trip geared for? What ages do you?
Well, 13 and up, obviously, but we're thinking probably in like, well, actually families and people in like their 20s and 30s, because basically everyone go on it unless you have younger kids.
And-
Oh, sorry. Can I ask, that seems like a really good price for the long, like, for the camp, the traveling that you're doing. So is that a exchange rate that's there? That's in US dollars, is it that much different? Or is the pricing for things like riding on a camel just that cheap?
Yeah, well, it's about the same because hotels won't charge any commission when you exchange your money.
And the 2,700, that is per person. So the desert trip is about $930 a person. And so that's 4 days out of the trip.
It's $190.
Oh, $190 per person, sorry.
For 4 days? Well,
Yeah.
So
What do you think is the most unique feature of your trip?
probably the desert, the camel rides and the desert trip. Any other questions?